Hey, it's Kim. Thanks for joining me on today's video where I will be setting up for the month of October. Today's video is a little bit different because I'm starting off in the coffee shop. I explained in my last Plan With Me video that I've been craving planner time, just sitting down, being creative, and playing in my planner, and that's exactly what I wanted to do today. I had a coffee and journaling meetup with a friend, so I figured it was the perfect time to bring my planner along with me and start setting up for the month. I packed up all of my journaling supplies to make sure I would have everything on hand that I might need, so I sat down and got to work. The first thing I did was set up the swatch section for October. Since I did already bring everything with me, I had a good idea of which Tombow markers I'd be using, which washi tapes I'd be using. So this was really easy to put together. I think sometimes when we get closer to the fall and winter months, we're kind of pre-programmed to just go with those warm, cozy colors. But I really do appreciate that this kit combines those colors along with a few extras that you really wouldn't expect for autumn. For the October kit, to me, that means including blue. It never would have crossed my mind to add blue for fall, but I am loving it. I'm using the Sterling Ink subscription kit that I received for the month of October, and this is the Sterling Ink Common Planner in the N1 size, and I do have the full year planner, so that's the thick book. And now that we are about 3/4 through the year, she's getting nice and chunky just the way I like it. Setting up my monthly layout is pretty straightforward. I have what I consider a formula where I do put down a washi tape at the bottom, and then the thicker washi strip that comes in the sticker kit, I'll put that right above it. And I always put the month name up in the left corner, the top left corner, along with some added deco. For this month, I wasn't sure if I wanted to add other stickers up there, just the washi. I kind of waffled back and forth, but in the end, I decided to leave it pretty minimal. I know by the end of the month, things are gonna fill in, and I'm pretty sure I will add additional stickers from the kit on some days where I don't have any events going on, so it definitely will fill up as the month goes on. Next up is my tracker, which is extremely important to me, so I definitely have to set it up for October. And again, I'm following my layout that I've been using for the entire year. I set up my traditional tracker categories that I like to track on a daily basis, along with some health tracking type of information closer to the bottom of the spread, like how many hours I slept, what my energy levels were, and also at the very bottom in the past few months, or for the past few months, I've started tracking my overall mood for each day. Tracking pretty much the same things. I did want to see what other Tombow marker colors I used in the previous months, just to make sure I'm not duplicating any colors for October. I did opt to go with that darker Tombow. It is $5.69. It's extremely dark, like a really dark blue. And while it's typically darker than some of the markers I might choose, I'm really liking it. So with all of the talking that we did and coffee drinking and eating and just chilling and relaxing, that was pretty much all I got done for my October setup while I was out catching up with a friend. As you guys have already gathered, and I'm pretty sure I explained in a voiceover, this month's plan with me is a little bit different than usual. So I wanted to, again, kind of sit down and chill while I was doing my plan with me. And there's a landscaper outside. I really hope you can't hear them, but if you do, please ignore. Pretend like you don't. So I wanted to sit at a coffee shop, you know, with something good to drink, something good to eat, and plan. So that's exactly what I did. But of course, I didn't want to leave you guys out of it. I feel like we're all friends, right? We're all buds. So I brought you along with me as I set up the first couple of pieces of my October plan with me. So I did do the monthly overview or the monthly layout. And as I did already show you, I did the swatch page as well. That's not it. There it is, the swatch page for October, picking out all of the washes and markers that I'll be using for the spreads for this month. And I also did the tracker for October. So I set all of that up, everything. Oh, and now I'm realizing I didn't put the October sticker up at the top. So with the exception of that, everything is pretty much set up for all of those spreads. And one thing I didn't mention, or at least I wasn't able to show you at the time, I have an idea of the ink that I want to use for October, and I'll show you actually what that looks like. All right, now the tracker is set up and ready. So the ink that I really want to use for October is Diatramentis Document Fog Gray. Now, it also goes by Blue Gray, and there's also a Diatramentis ink that is not Document that is called Blue Gray or Fog Gray, and it does not look the same. Where is it? I want to show you an example of it. There. Okay, so this is the one that's not the Document ink, and it goes by Fall Gray / Blue Gray. And this is the one that is the Document ink that goes by Fog Gray. This is the color that I want to use for October. However, there's a problem. I don't have a full bottle of this ink. I would love to buy a full bottle of this ink, but honestly, I don't need a full bottle of this ink. So I wanted to look and see how large my sample is, to see if I could possibly get away with using this ink for the month of October. I'm feeling like I don't have a large sample, but I have to check and see. So this is the ink that I would love to use, and I feel like it goes really nicely with the colors of the October kit. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to use it. If not, I'll pick some other blue, of which I do have a full bottle. And I also don't yet know which pen I'm going to use for October either. So now that we've backtracked all of that, once again, we got the monthly, we got the tracker. We did the swatch page together as well. And next up would be my weeklies. I'm thinking for October, I want to do the same thing I did back in February, which was to explore a few different weeklies throughout the month to see which I like, or to see what I like, to kind of, I guess, open up some new ideas for how I can change and switch up my weekly layouts. And also, I love the idea of documenting it, to share it with you guys, to give you also some ideas and some tips for how you can switch up your weekly spread. So I do think I'm going to do that again for October. I just haven't fully nailed down all of the examples that I'm going to use, or the types of weeklies that I'm going to use. Flipping back to February, if you weren't here for that experiment, I'll definitely link that video down below. But for each of the weeks, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 weekly layouts, weekly spreads for February, and I used a different layout for each of the weeks to kind of see what I would like, what I would hate, make some adjustments. And in this experiment, I did come away with really loving what I was calling the Nolte layout. Okay, so this is my regular one. So the first week of March is where I use what's considered the nulty kind of layout. So this is the one that I did use for the remainder of March and April and May. Wow. Oh wow, and June. I'm shocking myself. And then July I went back to my regular timetable kind of layout. So for October I want to do something similar. I want to try out a few different layouts that I've seen online, that I've seen on the interwebs, and also some things that I've just been thinking myself, and see if I'll make any changes to my layouts. So I'm not going to do all of them in this video, but we will circle back to all of the layouts. Maybe I'll film like a short or a reel after I have them all set up, and then do the complete video where they're filled in and I can talk about what I liked and what I hated about them at the end, similar to what I did back in February/March. So since we're not going to do the weeklies, the next thing we have to do is the October dashboard. So the October dashboard and the 1 line a day. And that is pretty straightforward. The thing I didn't do yet is trim down the B6 vellum calendar that comes in the set. So I haven't done that just yet. Obviously, I'm going to, I don't know why this is bent, but obviously I'm going to trim down on this side so that I can get as much. Actually, I might have to trim a little on the right side as well so that the full word October fits in over here. So I'm going to do that and then round the corners. And before I do that though, I'm going to put down the stickers for the dashboard. So as is my formula, or the way I usually put this page, the spread together, I will use that large washi strip that comes in the kit down at the bottom, along with some washi tape. And what I think I'm going to do on this spread, still using the blues, I think I'm going to go with that lighter blue washi tape that I had pulled out. So I'm going to use this lighter blue washi tape, whereas on the monthly I used the darker bluish, almost purplish washi tape. I'm going to use the lighter color here. And then put that down. And then add some deco up at the top and maybe some over on the right. So yeah, now that I've been getting my routines back together, and I talked a bit about this in a recent video titled Life Reset. Now that I've been getting my routines back together, I am trying to incorporate more like work sessions or work time. And that usually means that I might want to get out of the house to actually work. So go to a coffee shop, even the library. There's going to be a library opening up near me soon. That sounds really amazing. It's going to have like a coffee shop inside and just a bunch of different resources that I'm looking forward to. So that's going to be fun to meet up with friends. We'll probably like reserve a conference room. Like, yeah, we are like that. We do that. We'll reserve a conference room and just hang out at the library for a few hours and use that as like the office of the day. So I am going to need to cut that washi strip there. So those are some of the things I'm looking forward to now that school is back in session and my routines can kind of go back to normal. And I'm looking forward to doing all that before the weather, you know, gets terrible and I don't want to leave the house at all. So now that that's there, I'm going to still write in October and 1 line. I know a couple of months ago I used stamps to put those in there, but I'm not feeling stamps today, so I won't. My bag is still packed up. My journaling pouch is still packed up from when I was doing this at the coffee shop, which is kind of convenient. That is the whole reason why I feel like I set up a journaling pouch in the first place. And I do have a video Not sure where it's going up in the rotation. It'll be coming up soon, but a video packing that up, showing all the things that I have in it. What sticker do I want there? I think that one might be nice. And then it'll go, let's do that. And I always question if I'm putting this in the correct orientation. I think I am. So let's, I always get nervous when I'm hand lettering, thinking I'm going to spell something incorrectly. I mean, it's happened. It doesn't often happen, but it has happened. So there. And I do still want to have all of my typical spots up on the dashboard, the monthly dashboard, like the focus and the things that I'm listening to, reading, learning, and all of that. However, I think I want to use 992. However, again, I still feel like it's been underutilized in some kind of way, and that I can just do better at using this space. So I'm gonna figure that out. I thought to do like a monthly review, similar to the way that I do a weekly review after each week, but I don't know that I want to turn back into my pages to do that. Also, I don't know that there would be enough space here for me to do that. So I have other ideas of where I would put that information. Until then, I'm just going to kind of put in the framework that I used previously to capture all of that, like currently kind of information. And then I do want to leave just in case I can think of something else that I want to add to this dashboard. So again, this is going to be focus, reading, watching, learning, and projects, where I'm going to note the things that I'm focusing on during the month of October. And then the right hand side is going to be my one line a day. With the calendar in here, I don't really need much deco over on the right side. So I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. I will write out one line. And then using the stickers, the vertical number stickers that I have from Sterling Ink, I'll put those down. And something I need to remember to do, I am buying a 2025 planner from Sterling Ink. I need to check to see if they still carry these numbers, because I'm gonna need some for 2025, and I might as well order it at the same time that I order a 2025 planner, right? Duh. I have to remember to do that. Am I going to? Let's hope so. I'm going to need to write it down because I know that I will probably forget by the time it's time to order, which is actually only in a couple of days. But I know myself well. All right, so that's the one line. And then let me trim down this calendar really fast. You know, good enough. And I'm going to round the corners also. So I cut the calendar down a little bit too much, a little bit more than I might have wanted to. It's a little messy, a little messy, but it works. Or at least it will work. So now I'm going to put in the tab up at the top. I'll score it first. And let's line it up, kind of. All right. Just about there, looks good. Maybe slightly crooked, but you know that's okay. And as soon as I ink up my pen that I'm going to use for October, that's when I'll put in the titles here. And as I'm looking at it, do I want to use this one? This is a Lamy in the petrol color, and it's a fine nib. very much sidetracked. Maybe I'll use this one for October. Goes nicely with the colors in the monthly kit. So that could be an option. But there we go. This is the monthly layout that I have going on for October. Not a whole lot filled in just yet. And it'll usually, you know, fill up the way I normally do. But I really do like the blues. I do like the autumn colors, the autumnal colors, but it's not super autumn, which I appreciate. Actually, when I was moving into this cover, I was kind of going for some similar vibes. Like I kind of wanted to hearken to the colors of fall, but not do overly fall. And I actually feel like the blues mixed with those oranges and everything look really nice. Again, there's a video about me moving into this cover, which will go up, I believe, after this video. All that to say, please make sure you do subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see a lot more of it. I do appreciate you so much for watching and hanging out with me and going through all of my little spreads that I set up for October and taking a trip to the coffee shop with me. I truly do appreciate it, and I appreciate you for watching. Again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.